Hello, John Dilworth here, and I want to thank a few people, Mike from LA and Ivan from Canada especially, and our big our big funder, big guy Kevin Piastra, constantly putting up the good stuff for our movie. And I want to thank also the emails and the artwork and I'm really impressed with how much creative and reinventing is going on with Courage. I mean, pillows and sneakers and paintings in different mediums. Really, I'm really just surprised. I mean, with all this stuff, all the great art that I've been accumulating from you wonderful fans, really, I could just make a whole nother series with all the different techniques, because that was one of my big things, how much I loved doing that, is using mixed media. I was using mixed media right from the beginning, right from, well, what is it? Well, not Pierre, but thank you also for Pierre. I love getting that kind of reaction. I mean, filmmakers, when you go to a film festival, if you go to a big film festival, you're just going to get several hundred eyeballs in an evening. And maybe it screens twice, something like that. And it depending on how many film festivals you get in, and they're not all going to have those large capacities. So what's so beautiful about this new technology, this current technology, is we could be exposed to so many different works of art, especially animation, my films. And animation is, wow. I mean, look at this boom. It's almost like a renaissance again. But I question. We'll have to wait to see if the material is worth our time. It's worth our time. I have a problem with principles, and I have to tell you that it's got in the way. It's got in the way of selling things. Because there's a commercial demand. I mean, not to offend, not to be too edgy, not to be too weird, right? To have this kind of homogenized. I hate to say homogenized, but it's basically, the way fast. Can't say it. Be careful, right? Let's be careful. Let's be fair. There's a lot of beautiful things out there, right? But for me, I need stuff with substance. Otherwise, I can't work on it. Now, my personal films, they've all been experimental. I know. That just happens with art, and you have to get it out. You have to get out of your system, like Howl, for instance. I mean. I hope this is going to be something beautiful, because we're all in it together. And now what do we do if it doesn't succeed, right? It doesn't meet our expectations. And as Joseph wrote about, so many are called, so few are chosen. And this is the artist's way. What's the phrase? The artist's life. Never a happy one. And then you'll get somebody who'll come out and tell you, oh no, yeah, it's a great life. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I mean, it has been. It's just, what a life. If you're really living it, you know that it's not a continuous wonderland. And what's the point? The point is, what do you do with disappointment? What do you do? How do you manage that? And this is one of the things I had wished that we learned in school as artists. What a valuable tool to put in our toolkit as we march forward into this world that we didn't make. Really. What say do we have in it of any influence? Because even if we try to live on our own way, Look how attached we are to this current system, this dominant one. So, really, so the thing is how to adapt. How do we process disappointment? And in the arts, it's very heavy. What if your identity, what if you identify your work with your self-worth? What if you're in that world? I think you're going to be in trouble when you don't succeed, right? Terrible things could happen. You can go into a depression. You can quit, and then what good is any, well, depressions, they could be useful. They can be. I mean, I remember in Goose in High Heels what strange alchemy was going on making that film, and its subsequent impact on my mood when it did not meet all my expectations. But here we are. Look at this. Right? So let's be brave. And the computer, well, look at this computer, the machines. They're increasing in power and processing. I mean, what can't you do, really, with them? And when I was in school all those years back, I kind of did. I wasn't paying attention to what would eventually become the Pixar and DreamWorks and these monsters of entertainment using the computers, because I loved drawing so much. And but when it started to happen, of course, I became quite conscious of the changes that would happen. And I even I have colleagues that tell me they wish they had either died or retired well before the machines, because they loved drawing so much, and they couldn't imagine a world that didn't sustain that. See, that's not good. I don't like that. That's what they call a tangent line. And so let's move it. Autocorrect. We train our eyes. So it's a level of consciousness. So all I do is make a small adjustment there. And I mean, for me, it's amazing that I'm even animating this small. There has to be something wrong with my eyes. I'm exaggerating these fingers because they're going to move and in such a way. Yeah, I mean, even the oldies, let's just say these oldies, there was so much energy and creativity and a sort of passion for life in these oldies, right? These oldies that you're talking about, even, the Cab Calloway, and even Mary Pickford, going way back, and Gene Kelly and Shirley Temple, all of these, Marlene Dietrich. But we were talking about Charlie Chaplin. This guy, despite his personal life, which I didn't know him. He was before my time. I can't say anything about it, except, and his own biography is so, far out. It's almost its own fairy tale. But whatever he turned him on or turned him loose, the gift that he gave the world and continues to give is for us to explore and mine, get the good stuff out of it. And the good stuff is whatever we see. And, for some it may be very little. For others, whole universes are opening up. So where do we find our inspiration? And that's a big issue right now in terms of what's going on with our streamers and what's selling. What shows are getting produced. What's the message that we're sending out? Is it apathy? cynicism? Is it despair, a kind of cynicism of living, that we're unfulfilled, that our lives are not satisfying, that we're missing something? Are you getting this? This kind of, anyone getting this in our current, animation fare? So, you have to be aware of this. What is the overall message of our efforts? Well, for Howl is the absolute belief and, you could say, sacrifice for love, an investment in a relationship that is not disposable, for Jim at least, and Jane especially, and for those that have donated to receive the storyboard. You know what I'm talking about. You just know what I'm talking about. And Chaplin, I remember, I think Kevin found that link, Comedy for Animators. And it's worth studying that stuff, seeing what's out there, so we don't lose it. And even if we're doing independent films like this, or we're going into full-fledged production or making movies, the past has already done what we need to do. So that's where we are. That's where we are. And I'm really excited that everybody was so excited for my little short film. And that makes a difference to artists to get supported. You have to. This is going to be very fast action. I don't even know. Yeah. I'm just going to get it done real quick. Just like that. So we don't... I would put one more drawing in, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. I don't feel like it needs it. Don't feel like it needs it. And so that's... Okay, so that's... Just have to make sure... We just have to make sure we're not missing a drawing, because I met with Anthony today. We reviewed his tremendous work on the zombie unicorns. Believe it or not, some of these scenes are still being advanced. There's no question. C2. I just want to make sure that C2, C3. So this would be C4. I just want to make sure that, and so I found that, these things, I find errors. Directors make errors. We have to just live with that. So there's 3. So here's, right, so here's 4 and here's 5. Right, so he gets into it, and then we have that little time. Ooh, no, that's wrong. That's 3 because I'm going to reuse 2. So you see, we're not perfect. Uh-oh, we're not perfect. Remember that? I just want to do something here. We're reusing 2. I want to get Nina some drawings to ink. And then we go to 4. And then 5. Okay, so that's the deal. And this will be blank up here. And here we'll do 4. D4. And that to me is a good advancement, believe it or not. So we're working on the unicorns. It's coming along. It's just beautiful. Like I said, and it's a slow, this is such a big scene, that unicorn thing. Anthony's coming along so superbly. I couldn't be more happy. And we just plug away. We just make little progress every day. So Jim's pointing. I want to do something funny. So I know we can't see right now, but I will make it visible soon enough. Here we are. This is it. We're making art. Maybe we can forget the world for, an hour or so. So we could recharge with funny drawings. So he's just going, I think he's going, well, we'll prove it out with one more drawing and see if it in fact works. Oh, maybe it's pointing like that. The fingers is funnier that way. Yeah. So let me change this. And what will help is if I draw it in. I'm exaggerating the hands here. And the reason I'm doing that is to get your attention, the viewer's attention. I really don't want you looking anywhere else, because it is an odd it is kind of funny. I just want to, let's do that. So it'll exaggerate, and I'm trying to be economical as well, when we're working like this on limited budgets and all the rest. We have to learn to be economical, but not holding. I'll have to think about where to put soften that. See that? And so the other hand will be, of course, the opposite. It'll be up. But to do the up, I really feel I have to do the down. So here's this thing. Let me do that, and then I want to take this guy off, because I have his hand here. Did I blow this, Dilly? Wait a minute. No, I didn't. That's right. I thought I was. Oi, 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 oi. What? I did. I blew it again. All right. Let's just do this. We'll get it. So there's that. This finger is a little bit too high. I don't like that part, because it makes my hand smaller. I mean, I could do it, and I have the thumb there. It won't look pretty, but at least it'll get the message across. We'll just have little hands. See, just like that. Here's the thumb. Right, so that's what I needed. So they're exaggerated compared to the rest of him, like I said, as a sort of lighthouse. It's going to happen really quick, this pointing, this gesture, and we want everybody to see it, to notice it, because it's very, very short. It's maybe a second. 5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, it's 24, it's a second, 1/1000, it's over. So I'm going to have how many hits before it's time? Where's that other hand? I'm just going to hit this hand and then show you how beautiful it is. Well, if we don't love what we do, who else is going to? Really, who else is going to do it? And let me just do this. And then the rest is a trace back. Let me just... It is so stupid, this alternating action. I like it. And if you think about it, I mean, if Michael is able to do the sound, he's already doing banana, I mean, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, whatever these sounds are. Little plucks or something. So you see, so I guess, okay, so on the in, we want this focused, so that's hard. So I think that the in-between would be favoring this, right? So, yeah, we'll try it. And Anthony will just tell us what's what. So that's, all right, so these things are going to match to that, right? Okay. Match C5. Yeah, and so anchors know, everybody knows. There we go. And then the in-between is the in-between. So I will go ahead and do that, and you go ahead and do what is necessary that you do, and we will eventually meet again sometime. Remember, right, other things. Stay animated.